Hi Pisces! Welcome to your March 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. Very happy birthday Pisces. The majority of this month is about you. Now before we get into this astrology of this full frontal, I was thinking about you guys earlier because I'm waiting at the moment for a parcel to arrive, and you know when they give you the estimate, they say your parcel will be here before 9 p.m. and they send you this at 7 in the morning. So that's the whole day. So you know this parcel's going to be arriving, but you feel as though you can't go about your plans because you know the second that you're busy and you forget about it, the parcel will arrive. Now, there is something in the ether like that for you. There's something that you've cosmically ordered, something that you really want to occur, something that you really want to transpire, to manifest, and it doesn't seem to be arriving, yet your gut is telling you that it will. You know because you've ordered it that this thing is on the way, but you don't know when. Now, the more conscious that you are of this parcel arriving, the more you stall, the more you stop, and the more you stop and you wait, the less likely it is to arrive. So Pisces, Mercury is going to be retrograding in your sign from the 5th right until the 28th. And this for you is going to feel a little bit like things are stalling even though it's your season. But that's not the case. That's not actually the case at all. Now, as it is birthday season, your focus, Pisces, it's an amethyst there, that's a good crystal for you this month. How you express yourself, how you impress others, how you impress the world, the impression you leave in the world is going to be your main point of focus. A lot of first house energy, the sun in your sign, you're creating yourself, it's fabulous new beginnings for you. You're injected with this self-confidence, this feeling of spring, this feeling of bravado. And then we have the new moon in your sign on the 6th, creating, again, more power to manifest. The 6th of this month, the 5th, the 6th, when the moon is new, is the best time for you to write your wish list. You know, if you had a genie and you had 3 wishes, what would they be? Now, there is a caveat to that. If you want to wish for a certain person that has done you wrong, and I have to say this in every reading because there's a lot of people that go through this process. If you're wishing for somebody that did you wrong, because you guys as mutable water people have less of a black and white vision on people and the way that they treat you, make sure that you're wishing instead for love that is for your highest good rather than something specific like that. Because if you're looking for true authentic love and you're wishing for a person that's never given you that, you're wasting a wish. If that is the right person for you and you wish for true authentic love, it will come through. And I'm saying that because Mercury retrograding in your sign can mean that a lot of personalities that have since exited your life make some kind of return. And this isn't always that one person, because I know a lot of people think it is. It can be people from the past in terms of childhood, school, university, old work friends, old romantic relationships, of course. With your first house energy, you might be the one returning to other people. But the first week of March is the time when you really evaluate what it is you want from your life and you try manifesting it. And as I say, the second you get busy and enjoy your season is when it arrives. Okay, Pisces, Venus is in the 12th from the 1st of March, meaning that you're very, very intuitive when it comes to romance. You have a divine knowing that something's on the way, or that something's about to occur, or that something special is occurring. Synchronicity, you may find that things are working out in a way that seems to fall into place. When you're happy, your relationships will improve. Now, another big part of this month is Uranus changing signs into Taurus. This is a very slow-moving planet. It's also very far from the typical day-to-day planets like the sun, the moon, Mercury. But when we look at Uranus changing into this sign, Uranus, a lot of people say this is very unpredictable, this is very unstable energy, a lot of people get very concerned about Uranus. If you have Aquarius in your chart, you will know that being unpredictable at times is not a bad thing. Life has never been predictable. That's not the way it is. When it changes into Taurus, although Taurus is very solid, your desire for freedom of expression, Pisces, is going to become incredibly hard to ignore. Now, depending what decan you're born in Pisces, if you're the first, second, or third, look that up. This energy may not actually affect you until a few years down the line, okay? So don't get too wrapped up in that, but it is quite strong when it moves in initially. So for Uranus moving into Taurus, the way you express yourself is going to be pivotal, and that may feel a little bit contradictory at first with Mercury in your first house retrograding, but by the 28th of the month, you're going to have full steam ahead, in terms of self-expression, and your self-confidence is going to improve dramatically this month because you're forced to look inward at a few things that you maybe hadn't been processing completely. Because when we ignore the truth, it oftentimes will repeat itself until we get the message. So that is the first half of March, Pisces. The second half we will look at in the mid-monthlies. This will be very, very interesting because the sun will shift into your second, the full moon will be in your eighth, which is a very, very sensual full moon for you. Not only that, Venus moves into your sign. So romance, although enhanced the whole month because of your energy, it's actually going to be taking a real upswing towards the end. So if you're all about just enjoying your season, Pisces, and doing you, that's fine. Romance can come later if you're single. But Venus being in the 12th means that you're going to be very, very partial and privy to subconscious, to psychic, to signs, to the universe. So it's a very, very potent energy for manifesting, especially if you're manifesting love. But there may be a few loose ends for some Pisces to tie up as well. So that's the astrology. We'll try and clarify that with some tarot, see what we can pull out for the overall. And let's see. Okay, Pisces. High Priestess, yes, that's you, your intuition. The 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Swords is underneath. Okay, so fire signs are very enhanced in the month of March, okay, because they're in your positive sector. Now, that being said, Pisces doesn't have to represent a literal fire sign. It can be you igniting the fires that are sparking within you. So it can be you tuning into your passions, feeling the creativity of your sign. Oftentimes, Pisces need a creative outlet. And the most unhappy people I know that have Pisces in their sun, moon, or rising oftentimes ignore creativity and they try and take on this practical approach to everything. And they feel very lacking. If you're Pisces, you need something to tune into because you are like a radio station. You know, what you tune into is very, very, very strong. So you have to make sure that you're tuning into the right energies for you. If you're ignoring your intuition and you're ignoring your gut feelings and your interest in all things 12th house, you know, astrology, tarot, psychology, synchronicity, spirituality, if you don't have an outlet like that, Pisces, you will feel very unfulfilled. So don't ignore those feelings, okay? The High Priestess is saying that you actually have this beautiful grasp on what is known to you but not known to others. You're picking up on signals that other people won't. Your dreams will be lucid. Your dreams will be strange. It's good to interpret them, but it's also not healthy to fear them and fear what they're trying to tell you, because your interpretation will be subject to your own fears. 5 of Swords. Your perception of life, your perception of love in particular, and love that has been lost before, is very much dependent on where you're standing. What you experience depends on what's going on in your head first and foremost, and in your heart, in your soul. The challenge with the Ace of Swords is telling me that you cannot express yourself completely the way you would like to in your season. And that's unfortunate because, yes, Mercury is wreaking havoc by reversing itself in your sign. That's never the easiest of aspects, but it's also something that is very, very common. Mercury goes retrograde quite often. You're going to be getting recognition this month, Pisces. So do not worry about having to say everything at once. Take time to reflect on what it is that you want to say, and maybe don't say anything outlandish that could land you in trouble because you might not mean it. You have every control over what comes out of your mouth this month. You can work with Mercury in your sign retrograding because it's given you beautiful self-expression up until now. You've been able to say how you feel. You've been able to say what it is that you want. And just because it's going in retrograde doesn't mean you lose your voice. It just means you have to sort of examine what is coming out of it. Queen of Wands, when you feel like you're going to explode over the phone, for example, put the phone down. Engage in a passion. Do something you feel passionate about. Let it spark within you and see if you still feel the same an hour later. That's one way to put this. If you feel like you need to do a social media detox, do. 7 of Wands, endurance. 8 of Wands, travel. 7 of Swords in the positive, 9 of Pentacles in the challenge, and the 4 of Cups. King of Wands underneath. Again, we have the fire signs, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You'd like a bit more drama, though. You might actually be tempted to ignore the blessings and ignore the stability, and you might actually decide to chuck everything up in the air and see where it lands. Throw caution to the wind. 7 of Swords in your positive position. You will outsmart others before they outsmart you. You will have this privy information. You know how to handle people this month. Possibly too well. Pisces oftentimes sacrifice control because they're not always comfortable in it. And when you have that easygoing energy where things do seem to be going well and they seem to be pretty solid, Pisces, you might not know what to do with yourself because the 4 of Cups always says you're getting these offers and you're sort of thinking, I don't know. I don't know if I want that. We've got all this fresh energy, so you have the ability to manifest what you want. Maybe you're deciding you want something better. Maybe you're deciding, this is great. This is sort of, what I wanted. I thought I wanted this, but I want something better. Also, could mean you're tired of waiting. You're tired of waiting for that parcel to arrive that we talked about in the beginning. So what do? You engage your passions. It's quite simple this month. You're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting to see a result. But it's your season, so you have to do the action. First house energy, you have to go with it. Nobody's going to bring it to you, even though you kind of want them to. Why is that? Why? I know it's an interesting thing, mutable water, because you're kind of passive. You kind of go with the flow. You're kind of like a river. You're kind of like a stream, but all streams lead to the ocean, really. 2 of Swords, you're at a crossroads. Yeah, you're uncertain, you're undecided, you're indecisive, you're kind of confused. You're feeling a little bit lackluster at the beginning, but that will change. Could be to do with an earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But it can also be trust. You're losing trust that something's on its way. You're losing trust that something's meant to happen. You're feeling a little bit less than magical, but it's up to you to get the magic back in your season. Wheel of Fortune, fate is changing. So if you have been feeling lackluster, fate is offering you a switch. Could be to do with an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. 9 of Wands in the positive. Challenge is the 2 of Wands. And the outcome is the King of Swords, ambition. And the 10 of Cups is underneath. Wow. 10 of Cups. Gorgeous. Oh, and the sun is underneath that. Wow. And the high priest, the Hierophant, wisdom. Wisdom, happiness, and completion. That's a switch. Okay, Pisces, so we will clarify this King of Swords personality. We will. Also, in the extended readings from March, we will go into each element individually. But until then, we'll go over them here. Okay. Let's talk about the challenge first, get that out of the way. The vision is the problem. You can't visualize where it is that you want to go. I like that this deck, this is the Oceanic Tarot. It's by Gian Wallace. I like this because the Nine of Pentacles is referred to as gratitude. And gratitude is what brings us more blessings. When we're grateful for what we have, when we're grateful for the experience, when we are grateful in general, we do attract more blessings to us. And you might be feeling a little bit, with the sun in your first house, you're examining what's lacking. That's fine. You can do that. It's good to know what's lacking in your life so that you can manifest more. But the way to do that is to be grateful for the lesson, to be grateful for the blessing, and say, I'm going to manifest something better. I'm going to visualize something better for myself rather than this lack. You're not going to let this lack continue. This is the first time since 2010 that you've had your season without Chiron being there in your sign, the wounded healer. So Mercury retrograde is like nothing, really, And you've had part of your season, from February 18th to March 5th, Mercury's not been in retrograde. So you've had the time to manifest, to visualize. But you have to remember to keep doing that, even when Mercury does spin backwards. Visualize, be grateful for what you have. Don't throw unnecessary spanners in the works because you feel things are maybe going too well, or because you're bored waiting. You know that parcel's on the way. Would you phone them up and say, where is this? It said it would be there before 9. Where is this parcel? I need this parcel. I can't be bothered waiting anymore. I have stuff to do. You don't do that. When you've ordered food at a restaurant, you don't go up to the waiter 5 minutes in and say, where's my food? You have to give it time to manifest. King of Swords. Some of you potentially are manifesting an air sign partner, an air Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. Or they're making you an offer and you're sort of trying to play it so cool that you play it icy. That's not recommended either. Okay, Pisces. These are just little bits and pieces, 9 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. You are continuously one step ahead of everybody else, even if you think you're not, with agendas and with intentions. You can feel it, you can sense it. And maybe that is making you slow down, but at the same point, don't be so quick to react on emotions if you're not 100% sure that they're yours. You're a psychic sponge. Don't let people come in and offload on you and then interpret it as your own thing. Don't be that martyr. You don't have to be. Oh, I'm going to clarify this King of Swords, actually. Just remember, 10 of Cups underneath. Wishes are being fulfilled. Wishes are being granted. It just might not be so clear in the beginning. Oh, Queen of Pentacles came out. So there's an earth sign female for some of you here as well, Pisces. You could be dealing with a couple where there's an air sign and an earth sign, or you could be dealing with the ambitious energies. It's quite a few things came out here. Let me see, what was this? 3 of Wands. This is kind of too many. Some of you have taken on a relationship, possibly with a fire sign, and you maybe weren't ready for that level of commitment, responsibility. And they're looking to move things forward, and you're sort of playing it coy because you're not really that sure if you can handle that level of, you thought you're ready for it. Pisces loves that romantic theory. But the reality sometimes can be very daunting for an emotional Pisces, especially if they feel like things are too stable or they're restrictive. It's your season. When it is your season, people do inwardly become a little bit more selfish and a little bit more, goal orientated for themselves. And I sort of feel as though if you're dealing with a fire sign, they might be trying to move things along quite significantly. Page of Pentacles. Goodness me. There's a lot of earth, though. If it's an earth sign that you're dealing with, you need to be patient with them, or they need to be patient with you. Patience is a big part of this, actually, even though it is your season. Things are sprouting. That's the whole point of spring. Things are beginning to sprout, and you're beginning to see the beginning, the start of the stages. The flowers are sort of in bud form right now. Something that you want is in bud form. Don't pull it out of the ground when it's just getting started. Okay? Earth energy is very symbolic. And the Strength card, there's something that you still have to nurture. Let it develop. Don't get hasty and say things you don't mean. Don't get impatient and just pull it right out. Something's growing. Something is growing. Ooh. I think something's resolving conflict is one. And serendipity. Okay. Resolving conflict. Yeah. That makes sense. I think it might be inner conflict, though. Extending your love to a person. Someone's extending their love to you. Don't get so in your head about the way things should be. Empathy, as it's written on the little pebble here, is your strong point. So is understanding. So is compassion. You don't lose that just because Mercury goes retrograde in your sign. Something is happening in a moment of serendipity. As I say, Venus in the 12th house. Something is occurring as it's meant to be, particularly with the Wheel of Fortune here. Something's happening the way it's supposed to, and you're still having doubts because you want to see some action. Your sun sign is making you unusually impatient and mistrusting of the universe. But it's growing. Something is growing. Aphrodite, inner goddess. Awaken the goddess within through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. Stay in tune. High Priestess. Dana, you have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. You know more than you think you do. Unhappy Pisces people will continuously go to other folk for advice. There's a lot of people here. You will go to other people for advice. The answer doesn't lie with them. They don't know your true wants, your true desires, your true intentions. If you're dealing with another person, they don't know their true desires, true wants, and true intentions. That's you. You know that. Meditate, practice yoga, anything that quietens the mind until the answer becomes apparent. In fact, it is when you stop asking and asking and asking and asking for the answer that it will appear. Okay? Be patient this month, Pisces, even with Mercury retrograde in your sign. You will find that the answers come with patience. Strength card. Courage, bravery, stability, and understanding. When you want to say something ferocious, like a lion, when you want to say something to test somebody, even if you're not feeling calm at the time, find a way to say it without damaging the status of the relationship. You need to be the woman in the Strength card. I know that this is a merman, which suits you so well. Setting all the fish free. Very, very metaphorical for you, freeing yourself from restriction. If some of you have been if you're in a very trapped relationship where you're unhappy, it is time to set yourself free. Just remember, sometimes when you make a decision in Mercury retrograde, that decision will oftentimes re-emerge to change in the following month. A lot of the time the things that are sealed in Mercury retrograde will come around again. So I suppose don't worry to that extent. But do trust. Mercury retrograde won't ruin your life unless you let it. So be patient, Pisces, please, because something great is on the way, even if you don't know that it's happening. Okay, so it's your birthday season. Focus on enjoying yourself. Spend time with your fire sign friends, with the Queen of Wands here, earth sign friends. Serendipity, everything's occurring the way it is. A Mercury retrograde might actually bring somebody back to resolve a conflict. There's always that possibility with this card. Okay, your intuition's telling you something. You don't even need this because you're so in tune. Okay, Pisces, so I love you very much. I will see you in the mid-monthlies. If you want to look at your extended reading on Vimeo, please do check that out. If not, I'll see you guys later. Bye.